For some people, connecting with others just comes so easy for them. They can walk up to anybody and instantly make a connection. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case for me. In fact, my social anxiety in high school was so bad that I ate my lunch in a bathroom stall. If you can relate to that, then make sure you stick around until the very end. Today, we're going to talk about how to be more outgoing and less awkward. I'm about to share with you the exact same process that I've used to figure out how to interact with people and build rapport with anybody instantly. My name is Mike Macapinlac. I help STEM professionals improve their social confidence. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every single week. If you're tired of missing out on opportunities to connect with others, then you need to learn how to be more outgoing and less awkward. Once you know how to put yourself out there, you'll feel a lot more comfortable in any situation. That being said, here are 13 actionable tips that you can implement right away. All right, let's get into it. Tip number 1 is to practice reading social cues. If you want to know how to be more outgoing and less awkward, you have to be able to read social cues. As an immigrant, this was something I had to figure out very quickly when I moved to Canada. Growing up in the Philippines and being raised in Saudi Arabia, I was exposed to different cultural norms. I knew that if I wanted to learn how to be more likable, I have to be able to communicate with others effectively. To help you get started, you have to educate yourself on how to be more social. You can read books about it, listen to podcasts, and watch videos around this topic. I recommend you do some people watching as well. You can go to public places like coffee shops, parks, and restaurants. And then take the time to observe how everyone interacts with each other. Look at their body language and their facial expression. Listen to the words that come out of their mouth and their vocal tonality as well. Try to identify the underlying meanings with what they say and how they say it. Doing so will help you get better at reading social cues, which in turn will make you less awkward. Tip number 2 is to do some research. If you don't want to bail on social events last minute, then you need to mitigate the fear of the unknown. By preparing ahead of time, you'll figure out how to be more outgoing and less awkward when you're around people you don't know. I recommend you do a bit of research on a particular gathering that you plan on going to, and then come up with some stories that you can potentially share. If you think about it, most people usually talk about their work, their upbringing, places they've been to, events they've attended, and their interests. Am I right? I would also encourage you to familiarize yourself with current events. Find some reputable news websites and check out their social media accounts regularly. That way, you can stay up to date with trending topics. By doing so, you'll experience less approach anxiety and be able to contribute in a group conversation a lot easier. You'll prevent awkward silences in your conversation because you know you have something valuable to say. Tip number 3 is to present yourself well. As the saying goes, you never get a second chance to create a great first impression. If you want to know how to be more outgoing and less awkward, you have to take your appearance seriously. Whether you like it or not, we all make snap judgments about people right away based on what we see. That being said, put some effort in the way you dress and how you groom yourself. If you're not sure where to start, pay attention to who's already attracting the type of people that you want in your life. Observe what they wear and do your best to emulate them. Also, have a more open body language by standing up straight and keeping your arms to your side. Remember to maintain proper eye contact and have a genuine smile on your face. By presenting yourself well, you'll look a lot more friendly. As a result, people will be inclined to interact with you. Tip number 4 is to be curious about others. Most people who struggle socially tend to ruminate a lot. If you're wondering how to be more outgoing and less awkward, you have to get out of your head. Put your attention on others and make an effort to be present during your interactions. Give whoever you're with your full and undivided attention. Ask yourself, what's so interesting about the person you're speaking with? Connect with that sense of curiosity and keep the conversation going from that place. Really take the time to understand what they're saying. Actively listen by leaning forward and nodding in agreement. When you do, you'll make anybody you talk to feel special. That's how you become memorable and you'll stand out in a good way. Tip number 5 is to not beat yourself up mentally. As a social skills coach, I've worked with a lot of shy introverts in the past. From what I've noticed, they have a bad habit of replaying past mistakes in their heads over and over again. That's why they don't feel good about themselves. If you want to figure out how to be more outgoing and less awkward, stop beating yourself up mentally. My advice to you is to forget about your screw-ups and remind yourself of your wins instead. By doing so, you'll feel less discouraged and more capable. In fact, recalling your previous successes is one of the best confidence building exercises that I know. Remember, it's your mind anyway. You can fill it with anything that you want. You might as well choose thoughts that empower you and support your goals. Tip number 6 is to avoid oversharing. Being vulnerable will definitely help you connect with others, but there's a right way and wrong way of doing this. You have to find a balance between opening up and sharing too much information too soon. If you're wondering how to be more outgoing and less awkward, keep the conversation light and fun at first. Once you feel like you have some rapport built, then try to share a small secret about yourself. See how the other person responds, and then go from there. Tip number 7 is to not put people on a pedestal. Most people who struggle socially don't feel like they're good enough. They're easily intimidated by others, which causes them to act timid. If that sounds like you, let me ask you a question. How can you expect people to like you if you don't feel good about who you are? If you want to know how to be more outgoing and less awkward, you have to learn how to like yourself. To help you get started, make an effort to think of your positive traits. Grab a sheet of paper and make a list of what's good about you. When you do this consistently, you'll start to feel more comfortable in your own skin. You'll see yourself as a high-value person, and you'll act like more yourself around others. Tip number 8 is to calibrate your stories. If you're wondering how to be more outgoing and less awkward, you have to be empathetic. Before you tell your story or make a comment, put yourself in other people's situations. Ask yourself if you would enjoy it if you're on the receiving end of it. That's why it's so important to read a crowd before you say something. When in doubt, be observant at first. That way, you can get a feel for the person you're interacting with. As a result, you'll be able to calibrate your stories better and build rapport with others much faster. Tip number 9 is to ask for feedback. You don't know what you don't know unless someone shows you how. If you want to learn how to be more outgoing and less awkward, you need to be aware of how others perceive you. There could be some things that you're doing that are putting people off unknowingly. For example, you might be using a lot of filler words. Maybe you talk too fast or you don't speak loud enough. Perhaps you tend to interrupt others when they're talking. Who knows? That's why it's so important to get some feedback. For starters, you can ask people you trust how you're coming across socially. Get them to tell you what they think you're doing well and what you need to work on. If you're willing to, try recording yourself telling a story. That way, you can see your delivery and hear how you sound. And then, you can make the necessary adjustments before you go out and socialize. But if you want to get results much faster, consider working with a social skills coach. Not only will you get a proven plan to follow, you'll also get expert feedback and accountability as well. That way, there will be no more guesswork because you know you're doing the right things. As a result, you'll improve your social skills much faster and be able to get this part of your life handled. Tip number 10 is to avoid being argumentative. Getting to an argument is a quick way to end any interaction. That's why whatever you do, avoid discussing touchy subjects, especially with someone you just met. For now, stay away from sensitive topics like religion, politics, sex, and race. You don't want to get into a heated debate about something controversial. If you want to figure out how to be more outgoing and less awkward, try to keep an open mind and don't be so opinionated. Make an effort to see every situation from other people's perspectives. And just because you don't agree on something doesn't make someone wrong. Not everybody will share your views and opinions, and that's totally okay. You can just agree to disagree and respect your differences. Tip number 11 is to be more relatable. Most interactions usually stall when an unfamiliar topic comes up. If you want to know how to be more outgoing and less awkward, try to be relatable. Make sure whatever you're going to share adds value to what's being discussed. This shows anybody you talk to that you're socially intelligent. Also, avoid using jargons when you tell your stories. These are technical terms that only your coworkers would understand. To fix this issue, always use simple words. Try to explain complicated ideas in a way that others would comprehend quickly. By doing so, you make it easy for people to figure out how to keep a conversation going with you. Tip number 12 is to practice as much as you can. Everything worthwhile takes time. That's why you have to be patient with yourself. Learning how to be more social is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. If you're wondering how to be more outgoing and less awkward, you have to put your reps in. Try to practice your social skills as much as you can. For example, you can chat with the person you're sitting with during your commute. Make small talk with someone you share the elevator with. Strike up a conversation with the person in front of you when you're in line to get coffee. These small actions add up to something big eventually. The more people you talk to, the faster you'll improve your conversation skills. Tip number 13 is to be kind to yourself. Nobody's good when they're just starting out. If you want to figure out how to be more outgoing and less awkward, you have to practice self-compassion. Anticipate that you're going to have a few embarrassing moments. Just remember that most people are not thinking about you as often as you may assume. Everyone's too focused on themselves anyway. Even if you do something embarrassing, most people would have forgotten about you by the time they get home. If you're wondering how to put yourself out there socially, you have to stop caring so much. Just focus on what you can do and let go of the rest. If you're shy and technically skilled and you want to know how to approach and talk to anybody, remember to download your free social confidence cheat sheet. The link is in the description below. If you're tired of struggling socially and you want to learn more about our social skills coaching program, book your free consultation today and let's connect. The link is in the description below as well. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who you know who could benefit from it. And now, let's turn it to you. Which one of these tips are you going to implement first? Are you going to work on reading social cues, or are you going to ask for feedback? Leave me a comment below and let me know. Alright, that's it for me for now, and I'll see you in the next video.